This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by Apple Electric.
All right, well, you learned just before the break that when a storm is packing a lot of wind and it's approaching, it's pretty easy for the power lines to come down.
And that means you and your family could be left in the dark. And as many of us know, depending on how damaging the storm, the outage can last for a few hours, even days. Well, one way to keep some or all of the power going, a generator. Apple Electric showed Brian Spiros the benefits of having one and what you need to know before having it installed.
At first glance, this looks like your typical home, but it's much different than those around it. That's because it can weather pretty much any storm. All because the owner had a generator installed.
It's just a backup electrical system to provide power to your house.
Steve Prestipino is the vice president of Apple Electric in Rehoboth Beach. He says most people think about installing a generator after it's too late.
Out of sight, out of mind, but suddenly the forecast calls for bad weather and people start remembering last year or the year before how they lost power and they would like that not to happen again. So they start calling electricians, or they run to the big box stores or the local hardware store and they start buying up portable generators, or they call us for a whole house install. And oftentimes, by the time the storm is here, it's too late.
According to Steve, having one in place before a storm will save you a great deal of hassle. As far as what type of generator to get, Steve says that will depend on the size of your home and what you want to power. A good rule of thumb is to look at critical loads, which are basically the things you want running in your house after the power goes out.
Critical loads include refrigerator, maybe a garage door operator, kitchen receptacles. If you have gas appliances, get your gas hot water going, maybe your gas range going. Whatever your microwave circuit's plugged into, would be a great one to have. A lighting circuit. Not every lighting circuit in the house, but a lighting circuit in the most well-traveled. That's going to be your kitchen, your restrooms, maybe the hallway. Those would be most common critical loads. If there's a health issue in your family, for instance, oxygen tanks, you need power for that, that's definitely the critical load.
Once it's all hooked up, here's how a generator will work. Say you're sitting there during bad weather and suddenly the lights go out. Within a few seconds, the generator will recognize there's been a loss of power. And just like that, it powers up and your electricity comes back. Steve recommends having an automatic transfer switch installed. This will kick the power on to the pre-designated critical load areas right away.
If it's a beach home that you're not there every week of the year, an automatic transfer switch would be great. That way you don't have that terrible surprise of a refrigerator that's gone bad.
On the flip side, a manual transfer switch means the homeowner has to turn it on by hand and then shut off anything non-essential in their home to keep the power going longer. That may mean the TV, certain lights, or maybe your central air. This homeowner is lucky. She had Apple Electric install a generator sized perfectly to her house. That means if the lights go out, the generator will keep everything on.
All right, Steve, so we established that when the generator kicks in, it's powering the house, but what's powering the generator?
These generators have two fuel choices. It can be liquid propane or natural gas. Depends on which municipality you live in. Here in Rehoboth, it's liquid propane. In this case, liquid propane supplier set a tank outside, piped over to the unit, and made the connection to the generator. Electrically, we made the electrical connections to the generator.
Steve also has a big piece of advice no matter what kind of generator you buy.
Generally, they go out and they'll purchase a portable generator, something you might see on a construction site. These could be 5,000 watt, 7,000 watt generators. You got a couple wheels on, you just wheel it out of your garage. The storm comes up, they've never used it, suddenly they're trying to figure out where to put the gas, does it have oil in it? If you do have one of these generators, use it before you need it, just to know how to operate it.
And when it comes to safety, Steve says keep in mind, never bring a generator inside your house, including the garage. Also, keep it away from windows and doors so you're not overcome by carbon monoxide.
And according to Steve, putting in a generator usually takes about a day. Again, it's important to note, it's hard to say exactly how long a generator will keep your home powered. That will depend on the size of your home, the generator, and how much electricity you're using.
Well, we have covered a lot of information so far during our storm preparation show. But wait, there's more. Still ahead on Delmarva Life, keeping our four-legged family members safe. We learned how you can prepare for your pets, whether you're sheltering them in or out of your home.
Plus, if the power goes out, a smartphone could be your only connection to the outside world. We'll show you some smartphone apps that not only keep you informed, they could save your life.
First, here's a look at what's coming up in the news on the First on 5 on Fox 21 and later WBOC News at 6.